Yeah, that's what it means. Then weight limitation is 20 kg. And they have three categories of tax that you have to pay: 15%, 30%, and 60%. 60% is for very expensive cosmetic, and 15% is for books, for clothing, for food. 30% is for watches, all the electronic stuff, which is more expensive. So if we compare this and this, you find that this is cheaper, but this is more expensive. But what is the advantage? Here, no pre-custom registration is required. So here you go through the China Post Economy Express, yeah, instead of EMS. Now the last mile delivery becomes cheap, but duty you have to pay more. All right. Then you need consignee ID, copy, and name required. You need to provide the ID. Third method, this one. Postal clearance via Hong Kong. Now, in many cases where you want to test the product, you want to test how good the market is when you want to sell it to China, we will advise you to do this first. That means we ship it to our warehouse in Hong Kong, then from there, piece by piece, we'll send it over. And they will then, based on this, 800 per order. So if you sell snack food, one big package, it won't cost more than 800 RMB. Then it must not be more than 10 kg. Then the duty here is also 10, 15, 30, 60, and you pay EMS. Okay? Now, I forgot to tell you that there is a threshold of 50 RMB here, same here. What does it mean? Say, assuming your product value is 333 RMB, you multiply by 15%, what do you get? If I'm not wrong, you get 49.5 or 49.9. Just below $50 tax. Then it's free. Understand now? So in simple words, if you sell anything, food, not necessarily other things, cosmetic cannot. If it is food, because it's subject to 15%, snack food, then anything that you sell per package is less than 333 RMB, you don't pay any duty and tax. That's how they calculate. The exemption is based on the duty and tax to be paid, not based on the value of the goods like other countries. Understand? So the last mile by EMS, so where services is good. All right? So this one, you may find complicated, and you may find that, well, how am I going to decide? Now, these are all based on experience, based on the kind of product you want to sell. And that's where we will come in and advise you how to get it done. And just now we mentioned about local consumption patterns. So I'm sure you would like to know, if you sell anything into any particular country, you would like to know whether such kind of thing is popular or not popular, whether it is this kind of cosmetic, whether it's well accepted in that market. So all these things you have to do a bit of market research, and then if you find that, if people may find that, oh, this is made in China, people may not want to buy, especially food item. People don't feel safe. Yeah. So cosmetic in China, some people will not buy. They will prefer to buy from cosmetic from Korea, Japan, or even Taiwan. These are the experiences we can share with you. And then you also must know that such product, whether there is a search during the peak period or not. So when it comes to peak period, what do? If you send piece by piece, again, there's a challenge because you won't know how long it's going to take. Now, the other challenges I also have mentioned, you need translation in different languages. So that's where you have to understand really well, and you have to get all these things prepared before you can start doing it. And then, I have earlier said, in China, Google, there's no Google. You have to use Baidu. Restaurant review, you have this very popular one outside China, Yep. And then you have China, you call Dianping, Da Song Dianping. This is another website. And then video, outside China, everybody knows YouTube, but they use Youku. Youku. So these different languages, different platform, different culture, you have to know. So when you want to sell something into China, you use the method that you practice in Malaysia, in Singapore, in Philippines, in Vietnam. Sorry, go to China, you don't know already. You have to learn all over again. So what do? You work with people who has the local knowledge. Through us. Understand? That's how we play the role. So, Twitter, you have the Weibo, and then Instagram, they have Douyin, Meibai, and then you have Facebook, not allowed in China. WeChat, not allowed in China, you use WeChat. So these are the difference in culture. And then local staff, e-commerce staff management, and how you're going to hire the local people, how you're going to train them, you have to give them knowledge. So what we do is, in China, we have a team of people selling over the e-commerce. We have Malaysia, Indonesia, we have different teams. We share the knowledge together, we train them all together so that they know how we work, we know how they work. That's how we help to sell across the border. And different shipping model and cost. Just now I spoke to you that in certain cases, for a start, especially when you want to test the market, you use drop shipping concept. Piece by piece, you send over when there's an order. But when you come to your volume becomes surge, and you want to cut down your freight cost, what do? You use B to B to C. It simply means that the first leg, you go by sea, go to the warehouse, bonded warehouse where you don't have to pay duty and tax. Then from the bonded warehouse, when there is an order, you do the pick and pack, and then you deliver to the consumer piece by piece. This is called BBC. Understand? Now B2B is what? B2B basically is trading. So you sell to a person who buy in bulk, who buy from you, then after that, they will do their own pick and pack and they sell on their own. This is trading. And to ensure that you can do all this thing, we have to ensure that the ecosystem exists. So we will have warehouses everywhere. We will have our warehouse in China, in Hong Kong, in Indonesia, in Thailand, in Vietnam, in Taiwan, in US, and Australia. So we will do whatever we can, whichever country that you want to sell to, we make sure that our partners in the other country can do the pick and pack for you, can do the storage for you, can provide you with a similar solution for you to log on to the system, what we call the EWMS system, E-Warehousing Management System, where you can see your inventory. Yeah? So this makes life easy for you. And another challenge in doing cross-border e-commerce is when your shipment is sent to another country and the consignee rejected it because you sent a pair of shoes in different sizes, one size 5, one size 4, Marty, how to wear, return to you. What to do? They will return to my warehouse in China, we will ship it back for you. So this is a cost that you involve. So you've got to be extremely careful, make sure that when you send anything to the destination country, you will send the right things. Alright? Because in China, they have 7 days freedom to reject anything they don't want. They don't have to give you excuse. No reason to be given. They can reject. They can ask you to return. So every year, every day, there are tons and tons of shipment that we return to Hong Kong. And we do a lot of these return management services for Lazada and Shopee. So you buy over Shopee, return, they send to us, we'll send it back to China. because we have office here. There, we have office in China. We help them to do all the return by sea or by air. Okay, this is my solution. I say one-stop cross-border e-commerce logistic partner. This is where we provide you e-commerce strategy consultancy. We explain to you, we look at your product, we advise you what to do. Then we provide the local customer service, pre-sale customer services. And we also do cross-border, these are my core business. EW started off with this core business, cross-border shipping management. We have all our systems are managed ourselves, and all the solutions are self-developed by ourselves. We have a very strong IT team. So we do the warehousing, pick and pack in different countries in the entire ASEAN. And then brand commerce. Brand commerce means if you are producing certain products with a special brand, we can do promotion for you. We can open a brand store for you in the destination country. Then we'll manage your brand store for you, and we will advertise, we will do social media, we do advertising for you to promote your brand. This is called brand commerce. Then we do digital marketing. Now today, I'm sure many of you don't read newspaper for jobs, for any job vacancy. You also don't rely on that to recruit your staff. You always go to Job Street. Now, so similarly, especially young people, including my children, they don't read newspaper now. They always read the instant news update in the handphone. So therefore, the culture, the lifestyle have changed. Young people don't read newspaper. They find it too cumbersome, too slow. They want instant messages. They want instant news. Today happened, today I get the news. I don't want to read tomorrow morning, too late. So, same thing. If you want to apply for a job, you also look at Job Street. You look at messages on the phone. People would just post over Facebook. There's a vacancy of this, quickly grab it, get a job, right? So a different way of doing business now, our lifestyle will change. So therefore, we have to know how to do digital marketing for you, for your product, hit the right person. If I know that this product is only meant for the ladies, you don't go and show to the man, because that one will be gone wasted. If you advertise in the newspaper, everybody read. The man won't read, the lady may read. So we don't want. We only target those people who need to read this particular advertisement. There you save a lot of cost. This is advertising in multimedia. Then you have the local import regulation. When you send anything over to China, into Hong Kong, or into any other countries that we can provide the services, we must have full knowledge of their import regulation and how we're going to solve your problem, how are we going to clear your shipment immediately. And online store operation, so you put your things, today when we sell any product, we are selling our catalog first. Put the catalog on the e-commerce site, and then you start selling. When people want, then only you start sending to them. So you must know how to manage the content, manage the online store. This is basically what I say. So, and then, as I said earlier, our e-commerce solution, we do it very simple and easy for everybody. I'm sure you have used courier service in the past, and I'm sure you go to Post Laju, you have to go there, wait, queue up, fill up the forms, everything. Now, no more. For us, we only use electronic labels. You can do it at home. So you do it at home, you have a shipment to be sent, you just need to register with our PrintShip website as a user, with your own password, you log in, you can save all the addresses of your supplier, you can save all your addresses of your consignee to whom you want to send, you keep them all there. Next time you send the second time, don't need to type anymore. Or you can, the first time, import from an Excel file, make it very easy for you. So each time you want to send, you just need to key in the weight, key in the description of the products, finish. Then you print out this. And we have a very intelligent system. If you want to send it to Japan, the label for Japan will come up. If you want to send it to Taiwan, the label for Taiwan will come up. Yeah? So all this label, once you get, you paste it on the box, we come and pick it up, we deliver for you across the border. Very soon, in April, we're going to launch this. We're going to launch a service where you don't even need us to pick it up. You can drop off in 7-Eleven. The 2,000 over outlet in Malaysia, if you're just next door, you take the parcel, you just hand it over, then you can sell. So Facebook sellers, those days, you have to go and drive and look for the guy. And you know how much business, how much time wasted? No more, don't need. Just put it at 7-Eleven counter, pay the money over there, we will come and pick it up and we send it to you. So this will be launched sometimes in April. So look out for all these services. And next one, we are also planning to link up with other chain store, convenience store like Family Mart. Yeah, discussion is still on the way. And then, so they will then also help you. If you don't have a printer at home, then you can print this very easy. Go to 7-Eleven, give them the number, they'll print for you. All right, we make it very simple, very easy. Now another advantage of printing this electronic label is you can do it at home. You don't have to do it during office hour. You can do it even later on. We will give you a mobile apps. You can print from the mobile apps. So simple. If you don't have a printer, doesn't matter. You just log in, do everything. You generate a QR code. My boy can pick up, print the QR code. We print the label, stick it on you, for you, finish. So we have done all these things to make our life, your life, easy. And next is we are also integrated with GrabPay. We are the only one integrated with GrabPay. So you have a GrabPay. You can, if you are sellers, you want to sell your nasi lemak from Terengganu to Johor Bahru, we help you to ship, we help you to collect the money and pay you back, COD. But COD stands for cash on delivery. But no more cash, cashless. We use the mobile apps, scanning the QR code, and the money transfer to the merchant's bank account or through us to the merchant bank account. That's how easy it is. So no more asking you for cash.
Mr. We have, I think, about 5 minutes more.
Okay, very quickly, I'm going to cover this. So Free Trade Zone, we are the third company in Malaysia appointed by MDEC to be their service, business service provider. The first one is Alibaba. The second one is Post Malaysia. We are the third one. So we can link up. Next time when you do custom clearance, you can do it electronically very easily because we own forwarding license on our own under LWE's name. And this is the line haul where we can ship from Malaysia, from China into Malaysia, into Singapore. We can send direct to BKI, that means KK. We can send direct to Kuching. We send direct to Penang and Johor. All these things has been done, the system-wise all done. Now waiting for the custom to give us a green light to go ahead so that your shipment can be delivered next day in all this destination rather than coming to KL, then only you go down by truck. Currently it's still done like that. Indonesia, we have the same thing. We have Palembang, we have Bali, we have Jakarta to send direct as well. Because Indonesia is a very long country and big, a lot of islands where trucking is very, very, very difficult and very, very expensive. And this is inbound to China. We can send all the shipment into Malaysia, consolidate, then we send to China. And then from DFTZ, then we can send to Philippines. We can, China come down by sea or by air, then we can do the pick and pack, and then we send to all the ASEAN countries using Malaysia as a transshipment hub. Okay, basically, I just before I close up, just do a very simple introduction. This is my group of company. LWE is my core business. Unisys is my IT company. We develop all the logistics solution ourselves. And E-Tailor Gateway is an e-commerce enabler company that helps you to sell across the border. You want to sell anything, you have a good product, you do not know how to sell, don't worry. All the other issue, including payment, everything, we'll take care. We have a global network, almost cover the entire Asia, and we cover Middle East, and we can cover Europe and US. And we are now in the process of developing Russia, Latin America, and Central Africa. I hope within these 2 years we can complete all this. Yeah, okay. This is our network under LWE network within Asia. We have Japan, Korea, where we work with the biggest courier company in Japan, Sagawa. Korea, we work also with a very big courier company called Hanjin. They process about 1 million parcels a day. Sagawa process about 6 million. India, we work with DTDC, which is the biggest e-commerce courier company in India. All right, we link up, e-tailer link up with all the e-commerce marketplace popular in each country, in all the Southeast Asian country. We have the system all linked up to all these places where you can log in to check your inventory. And all these other, okay, this is our delivery team, our warehouse, okay? If you have anything, take this photo, come to talk to me, talk to my e-tailer gateway guy, he will guide you. He has got plenty of experience selling over the internet. So please feel free to get in touch with us, and we are more than happy to assist you and advise you how to do e-commerce over across the border. As I said, local is too easy. You can do it yourself. But you will need logistic services, knock at our door. All right? I hope I have done my part to share with you. Maybe not as good as what you expected, but come and see me if you want more details. You're always welcome. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. I think Mr. is a very friendly.
Okay, maybe just give me another 5 minutes. You have any question you would like to ask? Take this opportunity. We can share out with you.
Okay, question now. Question. Okay.
Yes, please.
For each shipment to different country, how fast your delivery time?
Cross border, even to send it to Indonesia, you can look at it this way. We pick up, we ship out 2 days. Even I pick up today at 5 o'clock. I prepare at night, I ship it out tomorrow. Reach Indonesia same day, custom clear on the same day. 3rd day we start delivery. So it can be delivered the safest 3rd day onwards. So maybe you have to give about 3 days. But B2C is very challenging. Because B2C, sometimes people are not at home, then you don't deliver. So this is, and normally across the board, 5 working days is very common. All right? Any more?
Any more? Hey, you don't ask me, I don't know about this. Seriously, you better ask him now.
Any more? No more? Today is free, you know. Tomorrow you come and see me, maybe I'll charge you.
Sorry.
No, I'm just joking. All right? Okay, if no more, we keep in touch. Thank you so much.
Okay, okay. Okay, next, let's invite Bong from Pgeon Delivery. Okay.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Before I begin, I think Mr. Ng just now asked about like who has e-commerce store in the world, right? So I'm going to tweak the question a little bit. Who has never used courier delivery service before? Can you raise up your hand? Oh, every one of you like use courier delivery service before. Great. Then who has encountered any issue with any courier deliveries before? Parcel loss, parcel return, or parcel on hold, right? These are some common issues that you might face before, right? But today I'm here to give you guys some tips on how you can actually reduce all these issues. Because sometimes, I mean, like maybe like the courier delivery company makes some mistakes, but most of the times, right, the sender actually makes some errors that's not in line with the standard procedure of the courier delivery company. So that's why these things happens, right? So I'll go into more details. Before I move on, maybe I do a little bit introduction about myself. My name is Bong, but you can call me JD. Some of you, when I mention JD, will relate it to Joe Baru. But since we are in e-commerce space, right, I would rather you relate with Jeff Bezos. Right? So I'm the marketing executive for Pgeon Express. Okay, so Pgeon is actually a last mile delivery solution provider. So what we do don't only engage with sender, you guys potentially. We also engage with the recipient end. So the service that we provide is called Pgeon Collect. So if you're a recipient, sometimes you shop online, it's a bit sensitive if you deliver the parcel to your office. Then if you want to deliver to your home, you're not home, right? Then as a result, you might miss the parcel. And yeah, it's quite troublesome. But what we do, we actually partner up with different like retail points like My Meals and all. So you can send your parcel there and pick up anytime you want. And another service, of course, we provide delivery service for sender. So we pick up from your house, the office, or if you are not really convenient to wait for us to pick up, you can drop it at the retail point as well. So in Malaysia, we have more than 3,000 points. Some of our big partners like My Meals, 99 Speed Mart, Constant Pharmacy and all. Right, so the operating hours is up to the stores. Some of them are 24 hours, right? So if you have a business, like, then you want to send your parcel at 3 a.m., no problem. Okay, so these are things that we provide. So I'll go more in depth about some of the problems that might affect your business. Maybe if I say kill your business, it's a bit exaggerating, right? But it will definitely affect your business. And how can you actually make the whole delivery process smoother? Okay. So the first issue that that really affect the delivery is parcel packaging. Like as a courier delivery company, we receive all different kind of packaging: long, short, fat, right, thin, right. But some people are not really aware how important is it to have a proper packaging, right? So let's take a look on this example. Like some of you, I don't know what they're doing. They just deliver their parcel with a broken box, right? So as a courier delivery company, most likely we will reject it, or even if you receive it, we will just return it to you. So in the end, what happened? Your parcel delivery will just get delayed. Your customer will be angry, right? Is it? So how can you avoid this? You don't want this problem to happen, right? You want, like, the best is the moment you send your parcel, next day your customer receive it, right? That's the best part when you do e-commerce business. So on sender side, you have to play your part. You have to do it properly, so that for delivery company, they follow the standard procedure to deliver a parcel. So there's some ways to do it. So I think I can do a small demo here, right? Okay. So the first thing, you need the right, I would say, container, the right thing to put your product, your items in it. Whether it's a flyer, plastic flyer, something like this. Yeah. Have you guys seen something like this before? Like flyer, or a box. Whether it's a used box or a good box, it doesn't really matter. But most importantly, it's good in condition, right? There's no, it's not broken here and there, right? So you have your, I would say, container, and you put your item inside. So some of you might sell like sensitive items like glasses or fragile items, right? Make sure you wrap it properly. Okay? Either you bubble wrap or you put inside your box, then you put foams or polystyrene around it. So in any case, when you deliver a parcel, you'll be in good condition. And remember, if you're delivering like fragile items, put a fragile sticker on it. Okay, it's very important. Okay. So after that, after you do packing, remember to measure your parcel. Okay? So there are actually two ways of measuring it. I will touch it a little bit more later, but remember, measure your parcel. Okay? After that, you tape your parcel, or you tape it, you seal it properly. You know, like some people, they are just too lazy. Oh, I have a box, I just take out my tape, I put a strip on it, then you say, oh, it's all done, okay? But I would say, I wouldn't really encourage you to do only one time, because if anything happens, let's say, it touches water or anything, the seal might get affected. Then in the end, the things open up. You want your product to be safe, right? As safe as possible, right? So normally, my personal practice, I will actually tape 3 times. First in the middle, and side, left and right, 1 time. Even to make it even safer, tape at the edge. You will give an additional protection to your parcel as well. Okay? So after you tape your parcel properly, so you print out your FA bill. So normally FA bill is something like this. So you have your FA bill. If you're using a flyer, put it inside a pocket, then seal it. Why is it important for you to seal it? Let's say, what if the FA bill just drop off? Then we do know who is the owner of the parcel. Even if you want to return to you, but we do know who can I return to, right? We can even proceed with the delivery. Okay, that's very important. If you're using a box, put on the box. Make sure it's clearly seen, right? Because the delivery man, you deliver your parcel referring to the FA bill. Okay. So some of you might buy some plastic bag, you know, the pocket to actually put the FA bill is even better, it's even safer, but also remember to seal it. If you don't have the pocket, it's okay, you can just tape it, but remember to tape at the edge of your FA bill. Tape it properly so that you won't peel. Right? Then, if possible, just tape another layer on it so that, let's say, there's any water, or it won't affect the FA bill. Right? If it gets wet, then the delivery man might not be able to see the information clearly. It will affect the delivery. You drag the whole process. Okay. So after everything is done, just wait for your parcel to be picked up. Okay. So there are some important things that you shouldn't do when you do your packaging. Okay. So first, it's a very common practice among the senders. They have maybe like 5-10 parcels. They pack everything together. They tie it, or they use clear wrap to wrap everything together, and then put one FA bill on it. Actually, it's strictly not allowed in most current delivery company. So what you do, if you have one parcel, you print one FA bill, meaning you make one order for it. If you have 10, make 10 orders. Okay. If you tend to do this kind of practice, like you wrap all your parcel together, most likely your parcel will get whole. Or we will just reject your delivery and you have to make the order again. Then it's a waste of money, right? It's a waste of time. Okay? And don't choose the packaging that can't handle your load. Let's say your item is 10 kg, but you use a box that can only handle like 5 kg. It doesn't really make sense, right? Once you put in, the packaging will definitely break, right? So it's very important. And if you are packing your parcel, don't use fabric bag or cloth bag, because if the thing gets wet, you affect your product. Okay, and yeah, as I mentioned just now, don't pack your parcel with a damaged box. And last but not least, don't use the flyer to deliver fragile item. Okay, let's say you have glass, it's advisable not to use flyer to deliver it, because I would say a box will be a better fit, a better protection compared to flyer. Okay? Because flyer, like most people use flyer for maybe cloth, or at least there's a box inside, right? Okay, so these are things that you should take note. Okay, the second thing I'll talk about is about the weight of the parcel. Okay, just like I mentioned, you remember to weigh your parcel. Actually, there are 2 ways to actually weigh your parcel. One is by actual weight, and another way is by volumetric weight. Okay, the actual weight, I think, is very straightforward. Let's say your item is 5 kg, it's just 5 kg. Okay? The tricky part is on the volumetric weight. So let's say you have a big box 40 cm times 30 cm times 30 cm, but your item is only like 2 kg. So, which how much should you consider your weight on your parcel? So for us, we calculate based on the volumetric weight, meaning by the dimension of the parcel. Okay. So I think some standard courier delivery company, their formula is they multiply the size, length, width, and height, then divide by 5,000. Okay. So we will calculate the weight of a parcel on whichever higher. Let's say your parcel is only like 2 kg, but your whole parcel dimension is 30 times 30 times 30. I think it's around 5 kg. So we will take the 5 kg weight. Okay. But for Pgeon, I think there's a standard dimension. Let's say if your parcel dimension doesn't exceed 30 cm and in any way of the dimension, so we just take it. If there's one side that exceeds 30 cm, we'll start to measure the volumetric weight. Okay. Okay, the third thing is about price. So there's so many courier delivery companies in Malaysia. Maybe I can ask some of you, like, anyone know what's the price of post laju for 1 kg? Can anyone answer me? I have a Savini here. If you can answer me, I mean, you can give me an answer. I'll give you a calendar, like Pgeon calendar exclusive. Anyone want to try? Yeah, I think it's about that, but yeah. But I assume some of you don't even know what's the weight of 1 kg price for post laju, right? So it's very important for you to be able to actually understand the price and what's the difference. How can you understand the differences between different courier companies? So there's this platform called Easy Parcel. Have you guys heard of Easy Parcel before? No? Yeah? Okay. So Easy Parcel is actually a website for you to compare the price of different courier delivery service, and you can actually directly make booking from there. So it's kind of like booking.com for courier delivery services. Okay. So these are some references you can take. You can take on Easy Parcel, but I would advise you, if you want to understand more, you can go on and take some, do some reference. I will walk you through the way how you can actually use Easy Parcel to actually do this kind of thing in a very simple explanation. So as you can see, when you go to Easy Parcel, you'll see this kind of interface. Okay, so you can just put your postcode and information, what's your weight, like you being a sender, what's your postcode, and your recipient's postcode. They'll come out a list of courier delivery services that you can use, which means they cover these areas, right? So after that, these are the courier services that is available. Of course, there are more, so I can just take a snapshot of a few courier delivery company. So after that, if you like to choose one of them, then you can just fill out the details, your receiver details, and the parcel details. Okay. So after everything is done, then they'll send you a PDF. Then you can just print the FAQ. The PDF you can print it and use it as an FAQ that you put on your parcel. Okay. It's very convenient. Everything's online. Right, you don't need to, like last time, 10 years ago, you might need to go to Post Laju to write your information, write one by one. Right, it's very tedious, right? They even support bulk upload. Let's say you have 100 parcels to send today. You just put information on the template, you upload it. You can just get everything done within like 5 minutes. Right. So some of the additional features that they support, one of them is SMS tracking. Like if you are willing to pay a little bit more, they allow you to send a message to your recipient saying, hey, your parcel is on the way, and all, right? And so there's quick return, you can pay ringgit extra so that your recipient can actually return the parcel to you. And they also provide an additional insurance on top of what the courier company service that provides to you. Let's say Pgeon actually provide you 200 ringgit insurance, but if you book through Easy Parcel, you get extra 50 ringgit. Okay, these are things that they provide to you. Okay. The fourth thing is about delivering prohibited items. So some of you might not know there are things that you can't deliver with courier delivery company. Okay. I think this is a very good example. Do you guys know about this? Like someone used post laju to deliver a python, and I think not long ago someone delivered a jaguar or cheetah or something, right? Animals, right? This happens in Penang. This is strictly prohibited. Okay. I think this was delivered to a hostel in USM. I don't know why a student would need a python. You know, I was from USM, but luckily I graduated. So yeah, this happened. These are some items that you can't deliver, like lithium-ion battery. I think Mr. Ng mentioned also, like weapons, dangerous goods, plants, living items, not living items, even dead animals not allowed. Human remains, currency notes, credit cards, and all, gold jewelries, and antique high-value items, and perishable items. Okay, so I think some customers will come and ask, hey, can I deliver food? Can I deliver drinks, flour with your service? Actually, there are services that actually allow you to deliver that. Most likely, they are on-demand services like Lalamove, Pickup, Grab Express, or this, right? They can help you to instantly deliver perishable items to the recipient. For courier delivery like us, we don't really support that because it's very sensitive, especially for food, right? So these are things that you shouldn't deliver. And the last problems that I think some of you might have encountered before is parcel mispickup. Let's say you book a service today, right? Then the delivery man is supposed to come to your house and pick up today, but suddenly you have something to do. You want to makan with your friends, you want to go and pick up your children, then you can't afford to wait, right? So what happened? When the delivery man come and pick up the parcel, you're not here. So what to do, right? What happens is that you can only deliver it next day. You have to wait for a whole day. Then it happens again. Then you delay your whole delivery process, right? So you don't want this to happen to you, okay? So what you can do, if you use Pgeon, you can just send your parcel to our partner retail stores, like My Nails, 99 Street Mart. Let's say today, 1 p.m. I need to pick up my children from school, but the delivery man come around 1 to 2. It's a bit rush for me, so I just send it to the nearest My Nails in front of my house. Then I just drop it there. The delivery man can just pick up from there. Okay? It's so convenient. And what you can do is just book our service online, and you just choose your preferred pickup point. Maybe by walking distance, there's a My Nails. I just drop it there. I don't even need to pay additional charge. So a little bit promotion about Pgeon. So our price is $590 for 5 kg and below. Then we are now doing promotion with Easy Parcel. It's only 5 ringgit with some terms and condition. Maybe you can go to their website and take a look. Also, we are pretty confident about our speed. For us, we deliver in the whole peninsula Malaysia, and we will deliver to your recipient within 1 to 3 business days. Okay. And also we do free collection at your doorsteps, so you don't even need to go to the post office. Even if we don't have MOQ, even if you have only one parcel, we come and pick up as well. Okay, these are the things that we provide to you, and there's no additional charges. Okay, 590 is flat rate, or 5 ringgit if you use it through Easy Parcel. So I think that's all from me. So do you guys have any questions that you want to ask? Maybe you can ask now. Yeah. Yes, whenever 99 Speed Mart is there, then they will provide such service. But it also depends on our coverage. Let's say, because now we don't pick up from Ipoh. Now we don't pick up from Ipoh. So let's say someone from Ipoh want to drop it to 99 Speed Mart, we can't pick up. Yeah, but we can send to the 99 Speed Mart in Ipoh because we deliver our coverage. I mean, by delivering, we cover the whole peninsula. So we deliver to 99 Speed Mart in Ipoh. Correct. Yeah.
Okay, I think because we are running out of time, so if you have any question, they have a counter outside. You can just directly ask him. Okay? Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, welcome. Thank you, Bong. Okay, next we have TresGo. Where is she? Okay, she's here. So next, we have two more speakers. Nadhra and Crystal. Crystal from Aramex, Nadhra is from TresGo. Okay, mic for you.
Hi everyone, my name is Nadhra Fauzi and I'm from TresGo. So we don't have a lot of time today, so I'm going to skip a few slides. So basically, I think we've gone through a lot more complicated things towards the start of the event. So first of all, I'm going to introduce who we are. So TresGo, a bit of background about our name. Tres, in the word TresGo is three in Spanish, so unos, dos, tres, representing three of our core services, which is storage, packing, and delivery. And we are essentially a fulfillment company. So in terms of the services we provide, the first service is storage. We have a warehouse based in USJ, where we store merchants' products, and as well as we manage inventory per SKU. There is no minimum quantity, and a lot of our merchants are people who are trying to sell online, either selling online as a side gig or just trying to set up a business, and also SMEs. Secondly is we provide packing services, pick and pack. So the moment you've made a sale either online or offline, we will get it packed and at the end get it delivered to your end customer. So the reason why I mention online and offline transactions is because just to share with you, when we first started the company, which was back in 2016 and 2016, we focused mainly on online transactions. But what happens online is that normally within a year, you would have about 4 to 6 peaks a year. And when you don't have any additional boost, like your own promotions, then literally you could probably be selling 5 to 10 orders a day. So what we try to give an option to online sellers is that once you've made sure that your business is stable online, try to explore offline ways of making more money. So basically selling to physical stores, approaching hypermarkets and things like that. So which is why we also deliver to these kind of places. Also for a lot of people who target the Malay market, so people who target Malay market, they like the agent, stockist, dropship system. So we allow all of these people to come over to our warehouse to come and pick the item from us, because sometimes they don't want to pay delivery pricing. So we just pack the item, put it aside, and these agents can all come to the warehouse to pick it up. And finally, all of the logistics and fulfillment services that we provide, this information is available via your account with us. And our system, we built it ourselves, and it's called Fortress. So essentially with us, you're able to track your inventory level in real time, pick and pack status, delivery status, and a few types of reporting. Alright, so basically, as you all know, the online buying journey from the moment a customer purchases to the online store or offline orders. I just wanted to share with you one point, which is in terms of online stores, on average, our merchants that are serious selling online, they sell at about at least 2 to 5 marketplaces, a combination of course, Lazada and Shopee, and perhaps sometimes 11th Street or Q10, but then for some reason, beginning August last year, it wasn't great, but the first two is always the most orders, and then a combination of your own web store. So there are so many web stores out there, Shopify, Easy Store, WooCommerce, you name it, and also social media, of which any request through social media, they will redirect them to their own web store. Alright, so how do we define micro enterprises? So when you first start your business online, of course you want to try everything yourself. Potentially think that doing all the fulfillment yourself, then you will be saving cost. But think again. On average, if you do more than 20 orders a day, you should start either hiring someone else to do the packing for you, maybe, but that's not cost effective, or trying to outsource. The reason is because, say for example, you wake up 7, 8, by 9 o'clock you start working, and then you release all your marketing promotions, etc. By 12 o'clock, maximum 1 o'clock, you should start packing your items already. Because you probably spend about 2 hours packing, and by 4 o'clock you would have to make sure that you go to the post office, because by 6 o'clock it's closed. So you see about 3 to 5 hours a day you're spending time on activities that doesn't generate you any more money. So with this time, by outsourcing, you can just focus on making more money, essentially focus on marketing, do more sales, and procure more products to be selling online. So all of these things that are important but menial, then you could consider to outsource. In terms of the supply chain model, I think Aramex will be able to tell you more in detail of how the delivery system works. But what I would like to key highlight from this slide is that it is extremely important for you to understand what and how does the courier company get your products delivered to your merchant. To your customer. Reason is because, especially when you're a micro seller, the only and probably the most important difference between you and a marketplace is the ability for you to connect directly to your customer. So your customer will be probably WhatsApping you, using all the chat that's available to reach directly to you. And probably they could be asking things like, oh, how come my tracking number doesn't work? You know, even the item was just shipped out today, and then they will ask you the next day, why is my parcel not here? So it is very important for you to be able to create a standard template for you to just either put it on your website or message it to your client. Things like, upon receiving tracking number, allow 24 hours before checking the status of the item. Number 2, probably Peninsula Malaysia allow 1 to 3 working days, and then Peninsula Malaysia, etc. And then for international deliveries, tell them what to expect. So by having this standard template of information relaying to communicate with your customer, you will have a better life. Because if not, then sometime during the day you would have to answer too many million questions, and you could be doing something else. Alright? Okay, so there are so many components to it, and the first thing that I want to highlight is the most important thing, of course, being able to forecast your demand. Not everyone is a brand owner when they sell online. Some people just, as I mentioned, are trying their luck. So for example, Raya is coming up, so they decide to sell probably baju kurung, hijab, and things like that. So it is very important for you to know which market are you looking at, and forecast the specific products that you want to sell and the correct number of quantity. Because just to share, at our warehouse, 90% of our current merchants source their products from outside of Malaysia. So it requires a lot of supply planning, which is to my next point. In terms of supply planning, it is very important for you to ensure that for your classic or for your for certain products that you are known for to not be out of stock. Because in the world of homogeneous products, if, for example, one person wants to purchase an iPhone case from A, the moment A doesn't have it, going to B is literally, it takes them 1 second to go to another person. Unless your product, you have maintained and created a brand equity, then probably that's a different story. So essentially making sure that your products are in stock is extremely important. So that's what I want to highlight in this slide. And the next one is I would like to share a few components of inventory planning. So the first one is managing a lead time. So on average, if you source your products from overseas, if you use air freight, it's about 1.5 to 2 weeks. If you use sea freight, it's about 3 to 4 weeks. So essentially, on how to manage your lead time is, say for example, in 1 month. So let's use the later case here where you use sea freight. Let's say for 1 month, for one particular item, you are able to sell 200 units a month. So you know that the moment your stock level has reached 200 units, that's when you should be calling your supplier, because that's how long it takes for it to arrive. Right, so managing your lead time is extremely important. Secondly is safety stock. Especially when you are aiming for promotional items. Number two is during peak times, especially during celebration. Make sure that you have some safety stock. So in the event where you are able to sell more than expected, you would have the product to be sold. And even if you're not able to sell it, you can always, do it as a discount or free gift later on. Next is forecasting your sales. So especially the next peak that is coming, make sure that you are able to satisfy the demand from your customer. One of the ways of doing so is by doing pre-orders. You could already have that item already, but if you could just do a pre-order, look at how many people are interested, and say for example it is more than what you already currently have, then you always have a lead time to actually produce a lot more items to be sold. And lastly is a reordering point. So just know that by each of the different products that you have, when are the best time for you to reorder to replenish your current stock. Alright, next is, sorry, I'm really fast because I'm running out of time. But next one is sharing what are the best practices for e-commerce order management. So the first one is manage all of your inventory in one place. Of course, marketplace, there are Lazada, Shopee, Zalora, they all offer fulfillment. There is fulfillment by Lazada, fulfillment by Shopee, fulfillment by Zalora, you name it. If you want to maximize the potential of selling your products in all of these marketplaces, it is important for you to centralize all your fulfillment center in one place. The reason is because, number one, if for example you were to give 20% of your products to Lazada, then 20% Zalora, 20% you then, and then 20% you keep for you to do your own fulfillment. So not all marketplaces perform equally well. For fashion, Zalora always does better. For electronics or household, Lazada will always do better. So say for example, you would want to you do a promotion, and then suddenly Zalora there's probably 3 times more than what Lazada is doing. If you decide to take your stock from Lazada out, it takes about 2 weeks to actually get it out. And when you are in a fast-moving environment like Zalora, the moment you've taken out your inventory and you want to give it to Zalora, you have probably missed out on the heat. People probably are not interested to purchase your products anymore. So it is extremely important to put all of your items in one place so that it doesn't matter what is the performance of each of the marketplace, then you can always fulfill it from one central distribution hub. In the event where, for example, Lazada doesn't do much, and then probably you put there about 50 units, and then it's not selling well, then you can just reduce the amount and then transfer all the quantity to Zalora. So if you do this by not having to park your physical inventory at these places, then you can do it a lot easier. Also, if you are selling both online and offline, it is best to centralize all your stock so that in the event where for some reason online is not moving, you can always sell it offline and you can do it a lot faster. Alright, next one is embrace automation. There are so many companies out there like SiteGiant, Easy Store that are able to help you to manage all of these different marketplaces into one place. So not that every morning you go, then you open Lazada browser and then you open up another tab for Shopee, etc. So there are places where you can just combine all of this and not having to be, looking, it's going to be a bit time consuming and intense if you have to open too many tabs. sometimes what if you forget to open one tab? So embrace automation. There are companies out there that can help you manage all of these 4 to 5 marketplaces all in one go. Alright, next is reanalyze your packing process. So packing is extremely important. So by selling online, people don't actually have a direct human interaction with you at all. The only human interaction they have is with the person who delivers the product. So when they get the item, they need to feel happy that they've received the item in a good condition. So if your item is very fragile, relook into the way you pack your items. If you're not sure how many bubble wraps to use, just wrap it say for example 1 layer, know how much bubble wraps you use, go to the nearest post office, send the parcel back to you. If you receive it in good condition, it should be enough. If you get it and it's supposed to be within Klang Valley, supposed to be safe, and you get it in a damaged situation, then that's when you need to reanalyze how you pack your items. Sometimes, okay, let me just share. One of the fragile items that we have is eyeshadow. So basically, even if we bubble wrap the eyeshadow for 10 times, it will still break. Why? Because this eyeshadow, towards the end of the courier route, it goes onto a rider. And Malaysia roads, okay lah. So when it gets into the rider, right, it moves like this. Okay? So what I'm trying to highlight with this example is that the issue was not packing, but the issue was the packaging. So there was actually between the top layer and also the actual eyeshadow, there's a very tiny room. Alright, so during tiny space, sorry. So when it was in the rider's motorbike, the eyeshadow moved up and down like this. So the moment it arrives, it was powder. So not only that, bubble wrapping, making sure that it is safely outside, but the inside needs to be okay. So this is also very important for you to check with your supplier that the item is in the correct packaging, not only packing, okay? And provide a good channel for return items. So a lot of social sellers or micro entrepreneurs, they don't like returns. And majority of returns are being done by companies who are in fashion. So about 2% of our total shipment is we get returns, and the returns are all fashion-related company. So these companies normally allow return to change size or to change color. But also there are some people who doesn't like return, and they say color may vary lah. Once received, considered, so things like that. But at the end of the day, if you are serious about selling online, you need to consider return. One, because people who has no experience or no exposure to your brand now have, they feel safer. Say for example, I don't really like the item, then I know that I can always return it back. But number 2 is, one thing that we realize by looking at our data is when you first start selling online, you would want to be on a marketplace. Why? Because people search by item name, not by item brand. I want to buy a white dress today. I go on Lazada, and Lazada gives me 50 pages of white dresses. People don't know your brand, so when you first start, probably you'll be listed on page 5 out of 30. But as you build your brand equity, you might want to spend your marketing money into your own brand. So one day, the number of transactions that happens, say for example, Lazada, Shopee, your own web store, will skew towards time. And it will go more and more towards your brand as you spend more money on your own branding. So when this happens, it is very important for you to be able to act like a marketplace. So why do people purchase on a marketplace? Number 1, because they feel safe. Number 2 is because there's variety. So you don't have to go to specific brand and probably not find things that you want. But the thing is, the number 3, the logistics is on point. If you were to make sure that one day that you want to get all of your volume onto your own platform, your own website, then you need to ensure that you can also operate like a marketplace. So you make sure that your fulfillment is on time. You make sure that the items get delivered within 1 to 3 working days. You make sure that if people want to return their products, there is a proper way to return it. Okay? And lastly is train your staff. So once you have made sure that for item A, you need 50 centimeter by 20 centimeter bubble wrap, this many tape. Then make it as part of your SOP and train your staff well. Alright? Okay, very quickly, of course, you need to be able to know what is your product margin per item. And the most important thing is, as compared to last time, you probably have a lot more fixed costs. Now everything is variable. The packing and delivery charges are variable. So once you make the sale, then those packing and delivery charges comes in. But if you were to do the fulfillment yourself, most of the time you would have to purchase the packing materials upfront. Whether you sell or not, then that's a different story. But if you were to outsource it, you only pay packing and delivery once you make the sale. So for someone who is just starting, you want to make sure that your cash flow is a bit better, then outsourcing fulfillment is a good option, because once you make the sale, then you have the expenses, rather than incurring all the expenses up front and you're not entirely sure whether you can make the sale or not. Alright, so all in, on average, say for example, delivery cost is about 10 bucks. Including shipping, storage, handling and packing, all in 10 ringgit you can charge your customer for shipping. So it depends on you. Most of the time, our merchant with sale price of 150 ringgit, they actually only ask the customer to pay for shipping, and the rest of the handling, storage and packing, they absorb, or you can just give it all up to your customer, whichever is your option. Okay. Alright, so finally, it's important for, it's very small, very important to have good data. A few things to remind yourself is, if you are not entirely rigid on what sort of products you sell, it is good to categorize your products into different brackets. See, for example, if you are in fashion, then you categorize it into dress, tops, bottom, accessories. If you are in general trading, probably do it under electronics, beauty and things like that. So that then you know, the next time you want to reorder from China, then you can always specifically focus on items that sells well. Number two is, if you are highly dependent on social media customers, then make sure you know on certain days, Monday to Sunday, what are the highest number of transactions you do. So depending on, say for example, on Wednesday, for some reason a lot of people purchase from you, then you know for your next marketing post, then you post it on that day, because a lot more people are online during that day. Number three is, know that between all of the market platform or online avenues that you are selling at, know which one you are performing well. Because all of the online marketplaces, as a merchant, you have the option to join the marketplace campaign or not. So say for example, you know you always do well on Zalora, then you join Zalora's marketing campaign. But say for example Lazada not so much, then maybe you can have more option to join certain marketplaces marketing campaign or not. And last but not least is, yes, I think I've covered all. Okay. Alright, on average, you can save about 45% of your operating expenses by outsourcing. So you no longer have to have probably a shop lot to keep your products. You don't have to have one person that you specifically hire to just pack, and you don't have to purchase upfront packing materials, and also delivery would be potentially a lot cheaper if you were to combine with everyone else. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so very fast, the way we operate, we segregate our business into 3 different segments. The first stage is inbound of item, which we charge 50 cents per item. Okay, so as I mentioned, we do both B2B and B2C deliveries. If it's carton in, carton out, we charge 50 cents on the carton. But if it's carton in individual pieces out, it's 50 cents on the individual pieces. Okay, next stage is, say for example, you haven't done any sales yet, we would only charge you a storage charge, and only once you made a transaction, we will charge packing and delivering accordingly. We also do customization for packing, things for birthday gifts. We do like those fancy yellow shredded paper. You name it, we'll do it. Of course, at a price. And we also do kitting as well as getting items ready for it to be physical store ready. So things like pasting barcode, pricing, and things like that. Okay, alright, so I've used too much time. I'm so sorry. If you have any questions, let me know. You can contact me at this number. WhatsApp me, call me, we can arrange for a meeting. I always invite people to come to our warehouse. So if you want to see how things are done, please arrange for an appointment, and then we are happy to have you. So thank you very much.
Okay.
See you guys soon.
Thank you, Nadhra. Okay, 013-588-1065. Call her. Okay. Okay. We have one more speaker, Aramex, and after that we can wrap up, and we have prepared food as well. Okay, Krista, you can start first before I open up your presentation slide.
Alright, good afternoon. My name is Crystal here. I'm actually from Aramex. We are an international courier service company. We're from Dubai. I'll make it fast. Someone, if you don't mind, can you just jump in? Okay, so we're going to talk about logistics and fulfillment today. I think that's the whole topic we are talking about today. But I'm going to focus on cross-border e-commerce. Okay, so we're going to jump very fast into all of this. So if you're talking about e-commerce, logistics and fulfillment, I would like you all to open up your market not only to earning Malaysian ringgit. I would like to open up your mind into earning USD, British pounds, euros, all these platforms that we can, for Aramex, we have the access to, whether it's via eBay, via Amazon, Shopify and all of this. We can get you involved in all our events to connect you with them, get you on board in that perspective. Malaysian market, 3 billion. Or you want a piece of 2.3 trillion, up to you guys. Which market do you want to focus on? Right? So people will always buy online. Why? Because I can buy 24/7 in Australia. Shops close at 5 p.m. Now after this, but you can buy online 24/7. That's why people actually buy online. It goes the same for a lot of European, Western markets. They can buy anytime, 3 a.m. I can just click, I can buy. So the next one that why people buy is because they can buy anything. They can buy anything. So the next one that we have is, these are a bit of stats that 50% of all e-commerce shipments to Australia are cross-border. So they're very open to buying things from other countries. Alright? Like say, and 70% they're buying online. Like say, so these are the markets you would like to tap. Why? Earlier, because I think the speakers earlier, because they are more English-speaking countries compared if today I ask you to list on the Japanese website. Hey, I have major, unless you know how to read Japanese and write Japanese, you can't tap that market. So these are the key markets that you can actually go in. A lot of you, I believe, can actually speak and write English as well. So next will be someone I did. So these are the 40% fashion. These are the things that you can look into if you want to explore into Australian market. Of course, every product, right, that you want to explore, I would say, my team is out there. Like say, because it's cross-border, customs regulation, everything is different for each and every country you like to explore. So speak to your logistics provider, whoever it may be, maybe Aramex as well. So speak to them, say, hey, I want to explore this product into Australia, into the UK, what should I know? Those are the things that we can actually help you on. So it's, for your case, might be very different, even though it's the same commodity, it might be very different for your products, the next products, the next products. So speak to your logistics provider, speak to your courier service provider. They have the insight, they can actually help you to start laying the foundations to your next step into going into all these markets. So the next one that we can say, why US? Because one thing, earlier mentioned, the de minimis value is low. Anything below 800, you don't get duty, you don't get VAT, everything you can go in. They're open. Why? Because you can even list on Amazon, you can list on a lot of different websites, even from your web stores. They're open to buy things from your. And of course, you have UK. Though the VAT is 20%, they are more than willing to buy products from your end because there are a lot of things that they can't buy and purchase from their local website. So these are the key stakeholders, I would say categories that they are actually going through, they are buying things online. And of course, logistics today, I'm going to touch base a bit about warehousing, order fulfillment, shipping, logistics, and last mile delivery. So this is the whole e-commerce cycle. So even from the start process, right, you don't want to be writing. If you have one order, fine, you can write it, you can do so. But once you have 20, 100 orders, you want API solution, you want integration into your website, whether it's Shopify and all, it comes hand in hand because technology is the key, right? And then next one, you want somebody who has an office, say in Australia, so that your local buyers also don't come and ask you, you're shipping with Aramex, they can contact the local office there in Aramex. In UK, Australia, worldwide, we cover 192 countries. Alright, and we have our own custom brokerage license to clear your products. That's why I say, with your products, touch base with the team. They will guide you, if they don't know, we'll go and find out with the local guys who are handling the customs brokerage in that country to give you a guide. Because I think most of the times, e-commerce, you can go from A to Z product, right, in that manner. So it's very subjective on what products you are sending. Different countries will have different regulation. Alright. Then next one, of course, the last mile delivery. Like we mentioned, we are working with partners. It's all about collaboration economy right now. So we're working with partners, whether you want it delivered in door to door here, or you want delivered to a drop-off center, pick up for you guys. Up to you guys. We have all those solutions in place as well. And of course, COD. Certain countries, like if you're going into Middle Eastern, Northern African, 70% of all online e-commerce transactions there are all COD. So you need a partner who can actually collect the money back and then transmit back to you. And you need the stability. Not today here, tomorrow no longer available courier company, right? So that's other things. And of course, most of the time, returns, like I think Nadhra mentioned, right? If especially fashion, you need to look into returns because people are, I would say, you add confidence into buying your products. They do not know you until you're a very well-known brand. Okay, then they are familiar with your products. Then they might not even need a return. But even if you look at all the well-known brands, right, they have a returns policy. Why? Because it adds confidence to people buying online. We have our returns. We are even speaking to one of the largest Muslimah fashion right now to work out on a returns portal for them. It's all integrated, so customer goes in, it's API integrated, they go in, everything is, whether they drop off, pick up, everything, we get it done. So it's all about technology right now in terms of especially, even in e-commerce, logistics, right? So we have those kind of solutions. Right, so why people want, they want, like we mentioned, door-to-doors, flexibility, all of those. Then another one thing, when you're talking about cross-border, people or merchants are super afraid. Ayo, this country, I have this duty tax. That country, God don't have. Which country should I focus on? We have a duty calculator. You let us have your SKU list, we can classify your products. Going into, it adds into your shipping API, alright, into your website. We can calculate the duty and tax, let your buyer know, okay, at the end of the day, when you purchase this product, how much they need to pay. So they won't have any hidden. Suddenly, if you have purchased online from overseas, right? You say, suddenly I need to pay extra 10% SST. I need to pay extra this surcharge, that surcharge. So a lot of buyers don't want to have that surprise charges. So we have all those solutions in place for you as well if you are looking into cross-border. And next, only 7%. So 93% of all your buyers, right, would want a courier service that can provide on time, on delivery, tracking capabilities, right? So like the minute that you process something, so Aramex has this capability to even email or SMS your customer, right? That you already processed, item is already, this is the tracking number. Don't need for you to go and create another email, this is your tracking number. It can be integrated. So these are the things that, why? Because 93% of your buyers want to know their tracking number and they're going in to track their products. Regardless whether it's cross-border, domestic, it's still the same case. The minute you get something, you go in, okay, where's my tracking number? Where is my shipment? Is it being shipped? So these are the things that are the habits that are of all of your buyers or online purchaser. So, and of course, returns process, like we mentioned, it adds confidence, depending on how, even the brands, whatever, especially for fashion, I would say. So it adds confidence. People say, okay, they have a returns policy, I buy from them. If I don't like it, I can always return, right? So payment options, I think we touch base. Depending on which country you want to go to, you will want to explore what are the payment options. So if you go into established countries like the US, the Australia, UK, they all have credit cards, they have PayPal, everything. But if you go into Middle East, Saudi and all, Africa, they want COD. So it's very subjective on which countries you want to go into. Speak to us, we have the solution for you. Right? So these are the reasons of, we would say, the critical factors of e-commerce for you to go in. Technological solutions. You pack one parcel a day, you write, fine, 1,000. I challenge you all, 1,000 parcels a day. We have customers, 1,000 parcels. Imagine writing number 1, number 2, number 10. By the time you reach 1,000, it's even worse than doctor's handwriting. So these are the things that technological solutions, the tracking, the serviceability in that countries and all. So prices, of course, what we can do is we can give you very competitive rates. Alright, so we're going to touch base a little bit of that. Customs clearance, because you want somebody who can clear your products, who has local capabilities in the different countries that you are sending. Alright, the brand, the transit time. Right, so a bit about Aramex. We have the express service, alright, the fast, things that you need high value, things that you need fast, you go with express service. But alternatively, right, we also have an alternate service, which is what we call an economy parcel express. Things that are not so high value, mid-range, but I don't mind a bit longer. It's still trackable, everything. I want to go, it's lightweight, it starts from 50 grams. We have this economy service that's available for you to cater into various e-commerce markets. Right? Of course, we have domestic. If you want to import in from various countries, we can do that for you. And air freight, sea freight, all of those, we have that. Speak to us. Logistics and e-commerce solution, I think we've already covered the checkout solution, the duty calculator. Why? Because you don't want to surprise your buyers with all the duty, taxes and all. You can have that kind of services. Payment on delivery and returns. Say if you don't have a portal, we can develop a portal for your returns. It means your customer go in, we integrate, let's say whatever website ABC returns, we can actually develop it for you. Right? That's all I have. If you have any questions, the team is back there, or you can come to me after this. So Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Crystal. So sorry.